Algebra 1, Sensei Learning System, Lesson number 1. When adding and subtracting, when you have same signs, you add. And if you have bigger, and the bigger sign at the end wins. So we're going to look for same signs to add. We have a -5 here and a -7. Those are both same signs, so we're going to add those. So it'll be 12, and the bigger sign is 7, so it'll be -12. He wins. +6 and +8 are both same signs, so we add those, and we get 14. The bigger sign is 8, so this will be a positive, so the bigger sign wins there. Here we have, these are not the same signs. This is negative, this is positive, so we will not add. We will subtract. So different signs we subtract. So 14 take away 12 leaves a 2. The bigger sign is the 14, so this will be a +2. Next, same signs add. So I have a -5 and a -6 and a -8. Those are all same signs, so we're going to add those. So that's -11. Sorry, that's 11, and that makes 19. So those are all negative, and the bigger sign is -19. Okay, we have a +4 and a +7. Those are the same signs, so we'll add those. That gives us 11. The 7 is bigger, so it's +11. Now we have a -19 and a +11. These are not the same signs. These are different signs. So different signs will subtract. So, or will not add. So we'll subtract those and we'll get 8. And the bigger sign wins, which is -19, so this will be -8. Okay. Here, let's put all the same signs we want to add. We have a -12, a -14, and a -16, so we're going to add those. So these two add up to 30, and this adds up to 42. So adding the negatives, we'll get a -42. So that was adding these three right here. Then we're going to add the same signs here. This is +13 and +15. So we'll add those. That'll be at 28. +28 in particular. Okay. All right. Here we have different signs, negative and positive. So we're going to subtract. Let's see. So we'll subtract these two, and we'll get 2 + 2, which is 4. The difference is 1. Okay. We subtract those two, you get 14. The larger number here is -42, so the answer will be -14. So the larger sign will win in the end. Okay. Number 14. First, let's put all our negatives together. We'll add those. We have a -15 and -16. Those will add together and give me a -31. Then we'll find all our positives, which are the same signs. We'll add those. And which is 12, 13, and 14. When I add those, we'll get 7, 9, and then 3. Okay, and those are all positives. Okay, so we have, these are not same signs, they're different signs, so we're going to subtract. So different signs subtract. So 31 from 39 leaves 8. The bigger sign wins, which is a positive 39, so it's a +8. Okay. Rules for multiplication. First rule is positive times positive is positive, and positive times negative is negative. Furthermore, we can say negative times negative is positive, and a negative times a negative times a negative, rule for that is negative. And let's go one more rule. Negative times a, I'm sorry, it should be a negative. Negative times a negative times a negative times a negative, 4 negatives, will give us positive. Okay, that's about as far as we need to go. So here we have a 1 times 3 times 4, and we'll get 12. And we have 3 negatives, negative times negative times negative. Well, 3 negatives is negative, so that's a -12. Here we're multiplying again, so 1 times 2, which is 2, times 3 is 6, and 6 times 1 is 6. And we have 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives that are multiplying, and 4 negatives is positive, +6. Here we have 1 times 2, which is 2 times 3, which is 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. And I have a negative times a negative here, 2 negatives, and 2 negatives is positive, so it's a +30. Here I have multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4, and times 1 is still 4, and then this is 9, so 4 times 9 is 36. And we have positive times negative times negative times, sorry, positive times negative times positive, or essentially just one negative. Well, one negative and everything else positive is going to be, according to this, negative. So -36. Okay, some combinations. Okay, first we're going to simplify these and get rid of all the double signs. Here this is double signs. It's a negative, negative. Negative, negative combinations are positive, so we're going to rewrite this as a positive 3. This is a positive negative combination, and remember, the positive negatives become negative. So these two signs become one sign, the negative 3. And this is a negative, negative. And remember that a negative, negative combination becomes one positive sign, so plus 3. Okay, so everything now has only one sign. So we'll put our negatives together, which is only negative 3, and our positives together, which is this 3 and this 3, which is 6. And different signs we're going to subtract. And since the bigger one is positive, this will be a positive 3. Okay, we've got double signs again. So double negatives will give me positive 3. A positive negative combination gives me negative 4. And a negative negative combination gives me positive 5. Okay, so we'll put all our positives together, which will be 5 and 3, which will be 8. And then our negatives here, negative 4. Okay, these are different signs, so we'll subtract 4. And since the 8 is positive and larger, we'll make that final answer positive. Okay, here, this is a 5. There's no double signs here. This is a negative and a positive, so this will be negative. These are double signs here, so we got negative and negative, which is a positive. So we have negative 5 here, and our positives are 5 and 5, which is 10. We combine these, we get a positive 5. For this one, we have a 1, negative on the positive 3, which is negative 3, and double negative on the 5, which is positive 5. Okay, the negative 3 is only negative here, and the 1 and 5 makes 6. And then we'll combine these, negative 3 and 6, which gives us positive 3. Here, we have a double negative, and that makes that positive 3. Here we have a positive negative, that makes that negative 3. And we have a positive negative here, which makes that negative 3. Okay, now same signs will add, so negative 3 and negative 3 makes negative 6, and this is a positive 3. And these are different signs, so they'll subtract, and we'll get 3. The 6 is bigger, so this will be negative 3. Here, we have double signs. Here, this will be positive 3. Here, in a positive negative combination makes negative, so that will be negative 4. Another positive negative combination, this will be negative 5. Okay, let's put our same signs together, negative 4 and negative 5, which gives us negative 9. And the positive 3 is left over. And these are different signs, so we'll subtract and get 6. The bigger sign is negative, so the final answer will be negative.